Hi, hello, welcome to another session of Scatayan. In this episode, we're going to be discussing something that affects a lot of people, a lot of young singles, and a lot of adults. We're talking about relationships and finances. As usual, I'm your host and your guy that you love the most, Toves. Joining me to Scatayan in today's episode are a few of your faves as well. Please welcome back Joni Boy, the guy that likes to chat with his friends and have fun while doing it. How are you doing, Mr. Johnny?
Hello, hello, guys. It's fun to be here, and I'm glad to discuss things today.
Fantastic. Good to have you as well. And also, welcoming back to the corner. Please welcome the big man, Stan. How are you doing, Stan?
I can't complain. Always happy to be here. So thanks for the invite.
Fantastic. And we've got the longest of them all and the ultimate Arsenal hater, Mr. Seun Tee. How are you doing, Seun?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. A little disappointed that there's nothing for me to hate on with regards to Arsenal right now, but
But that's how I've been beating
unfortunately,
you guys steady for the past 4 years now, so I don't understand. Okay, I understand why you hate. I understand.
Well,
I'll just ignore that. Yeah.
fair enough. And to you, our loyal listeners as well, please remember you are free to participate. Feel free to share your thoughts either in the comment section or on our social media by following the episode link in the description below. And while you're scrolling down, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're new or yet to do so. So, gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you on this one. For many couples, currency is the ultimate love language. Now, imagine living in a society where economic stability is a distant dream. Jobs are scarce, and there's financial insecurity to the point where people might think that is a constant companion. How do you think this affects one's view of relationship? Do you think they'll prioritize love and romance, or do you think they'll prioritize practical considerations like financial security and stability? What do you think? Because I heard Sean T mentioned a language I heard for the first time, DINK, some episodes ago. Dual income, no kids. So, in a situation where people are not financially buoyant, what do you think is going to be their priority?
I mean, I think honestly it depends on the person, right? Before we got back on, I was just watching a clip where some lady was talking about how one of those street interviews, and she said, "What do they need from her for? What does she need from a man?" I think she said maybe $35,000 annual salary. And the guy was shocked, and many people like in the comments were shocked and everything. So I think it really depends on the person. It depends on the type of lifestyle you're used to, because also you cannot begrudge anybody who says, "When I was growing up, my own salary, I can afford to do certain things. I
Mhm.
want to be in a relationship with somebody who can also afford to do those things, so I won't have to feel bad." If I want to go out and we can't go out because you cannot afford to go out, don't worry, I'll pay for myself. But if you can, so like all these kind of things, you can't begrudge anybody, and it just depends on the person. Honestly, I think even in this day and age, it depends on your own values, what you desire out of a relationship.
I agree with you Thomas there. It depends on the individual because at the end of the day, right, it's deciding what you want to do. If you know you can keep up with your lifestyle, I mean, go for it. I don't mind, but don't carry your nonsense to bring on my head. That's all I don't want. So, like, if you know you can spend your money, spend it how you want. That's your own money, but don't be putting eye on my money. I don't want that.
I think it's a reality of what we're living in right now. I don't even know if the word love really does exist to most people.
It
So
never existed, my brother. Leave that to
I
No,
really can't answer that, to be honest with you. It really depends, just like
Okay.
you guys said. So I honestly have no answer. All I know is don't be a liability. I
All
will
right.
support you in a way I can, but also just don't be a liability, right? I also need some support once in a while.
Right.
but
everybody
it's not like
does.
it's not a today thing, right? I think today self is even better
Yes.
because
I,
back in the day,
I
depending
was
on
going
how
to
far
give
back you go,
Yeah, I was going to give some historical context to it as well, because talking about back in the day, even if you think like Western cultures, like in Europe, the nobles, they don't marry for love, they marry for strategy. They marry for political alignments, people who
Yeah,
actually had money.
true.
So it was arranged. Like the families were arranging who's going to marry based on their family
Yeah,
blood, their money, all of that stuff. Even coming back to recently in Japan, there's an aging population because the young people don't want to marry because of economic instability. They don't feel that they're financially independent to get married, and so people are waiting till they're older to be in relationships till they're financially independent. I also think about like India. Once upon a time, there used to be arranged marriages that was based on family
Mm.
bond. You know, marriage was a thing of family, but
Have
nowadays
they stopped
they
that?
have marriage markets in China, in Beijing, in Malaysia, in India, literally where people are advertising the qualities of their children, and finance seem to be like one of the key components of relationships. So, you know, where is love going to go if everyone is focused on economic stability?
I think with the what you mentioned the whole thing about the finance and all, and you're not wrong. I think a lot of the world has changed. Somehow we have to be relevant in a sense where AI does not take over everything we're doing. So because of that, we're spending more time trying to upskill, upgrade, and all that. At some point, relationship is literally at the back of your mind. If you find someone in the process, okay. If you don't, well, some people are okay with that now. In the past, it wasn't like that. Right now, people are actually okay being
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
It's cheaper and safer for them. So there's a lot of factors to that. I'm not
So
saying
the
it's not
proximate.
safer in a marriage, but it's just a reality of what things have become in the world, and it's not just because of one thing that changed that. There's a lot of things that have changed that.
Right.
So
So
I,
Instagram
I can
loving is
identify
a
like
is a new
a.
thing.
I
No,
want
go
to
on,
highlight
Shay.
that what I think is a proximate cause for all the changes, and it's in women. It's women. It's the dynamic around women primarily.
Agreed.
I was going to go like far back, just like Dr. Toves did, but the point used to be before men controlled the relationship dynamic, and all that was required of a man is the ability to have an income. So before it used to be the Conqueror that married the women. So it was the strongest guy in the village that got to marry. That had his pick of the women, or it was the person who had the biggest farm. So like the idea that economic or financial concern is new is not new. It's
It's
always
not
been
new.
about security. It's always been about can you provide security because men were
Yes.
responsible for providing the security and women were the things that they secured and provided for. But fast forward to 2010s and the likes when women educational achievements or attainments started outpacing men. Women are earning a lot more than they used to before, as much as men, if not more than men. What is required of men to make a marriage is more than just money. So like it's more than just finance now. It's either more than finance or and a lot of other emotional intelligence that men don't possess currently. So before finance used to be enough. Now finance is not enough, and the
It's
kind of
not.
finance that you need is finance for Malta and Bali and Miami every year. So the finance game hasn't changed. But on top of that, like men, the love equation is
Right.
different now because it requires men to be a lot more emotionally intelligent than we may have had to be in the past. Because in our parents' generation, it was the father who brought the money and the mother who, even if she worked, she earned significantly less than that
Mm.
father, and she was responsible for taking care of the home. It's different now.
Okay. Now, so let me ask some a
but
question still in line
I
of the
guess I
finance.
gotta, sorry, I don't know if it's my network or yours, but there's a lag. um, I guess
There
I had a
is.
question in what you just talked about. I didn't hear everything, but just part of it. You talk about emotional intelligence right now, that we need men to be more
Yeah.
emotionally intelligent. I agree, but do we actually have the room to have men being more emotionally intelligent? There is no space for men to do so. There is there's a lot of things that they expect from a man. You could be bringing all the money, there's still something wrong. You could
Yeah.
bring the
You can
money and
never
emotional
satisfy woman, like you
intelligence,
said.
there's still something wrong. You bring the money, emotional intelligence, and whatever they said was wrong, there's still something society will say is
But
wrong. I watched a
I can
video.
flip it on. I can flip it on you now, right on the men's one, and say women will feel like they tell you give a man this, give a man that, but he will still cheat,
Mhm.
or he will still
Right.
do something wrong, right? Like so, both men and women generally, as human beings, is our first time being, it's our first time being
Human.
human. So
Yeah.
we're bound to make mistakes. I think the finance thing is a bit overrated, and it's a is a feature of social media, basically, because everybody is existing and living online, where all we're seeing is Birkin bags and flights and trips and the like. So that's what we think. But I think if you go out
I
in the
can't.
real world,
No,
there's
I
so
don't
many
think you can
regular
say that.
women who are just like down to earth and are not liabilities, as you said.
Right.
Right.
Now I don't think you can just expel saying the financial thing is a bit overrated. It is not. Even with the ones that are down to earth and they don't care how much you're making, they still expect some level of provision from you.
Yeah.
Of
So
course,
there is no
that's normal
way.
now. I mean, well, what do
Yeah.
you,
I
what do
mean,
you, what do you expect
that's standard.
Yeah,
otherwise?
so there is
Yeah.
no way you can ever say finance is overrated or underrated, whatever. It is always somehow, even until now, it's still the major factor.
Right. Can I
No,
ask a quick
because man has
question?
to eat.
Can I ask a quick question based on where the conversation I think it's going? Because in societies that are more stable economic wise, like Sweden and Denmark, where there's healthcare, there's education and unemployment benefits, long maternity leave and paternity leave, relationship tends to be more on personal fulfillment and compatibility rather than economic necessity because the state will take care of things like that, take care of all those basic necessities, right? Whereas in other countries, like maybe African societies, like Nigerian society in particular, where you know there is not so much the economic climate is not as stable. There's a reliance on their husbands or the men to provide more support for their partners. Even if they say 50-50 and they're trying to co up the term 50-50 relationship, but traditionally and culturally, they still expect the men to do a lot of these things. So maybe in future, love will be more about interest rate or than interest mate. But do you think that
Love is already
different
transactional
countries,
right
this
now.
different economic development can have an impact on people's view on finance in relationship?
Yes, you're correct. Economics and the culture in a society. Yes, I think like you're saying, in more I guess like paternal, societies or patriarchal societies like Nigeria, for example. Yeah, men dominate the conversation. Women often are differential to they're looking for somebody basically who can provide, take care of me. More you have more far more housewives. In those type of societies looking for allowance, basically. And yeah, you're correct. The society determines, I think, how that dynamic exists. But I would say that there's still pure water and Gary love in Nigeria. We see the Siam, it's
Obviously.
still there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so if,
Can't
it
stop
depends
it.
on what you're,
That's why
it
I
depends
said
on what you're looking for.
more of.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we still know about all
I
these Instagram weddings. People want their wedding day to look a certain way. They want the certain type of bouquet of flowers. They want a certain type
Bro,
of
I
background for
was having this
pictures.
discussion on
Now,
my
Davido
dentist the
has
other
basically
day.
set a new trend for what wedding day is meant to be in the last week. I'm sure there'll be more pressure on people now to kind of have their wedding day look like that, which means more pressure for the men in the Nigerian society. So,
Yep.
yeah, it's
But
quite difficult.
with your last statement, Shao, don't you think it's because of that's all they know? That's primarily the height of what they know. If you take
Or
those
you
people
mean
with
pure
that,
water and Gary love?
yeah, that's the height they know. If you take them away and maybe you bring them over to wherever you are, England, Canada, the States, or even same Nigeria,
Or
maybe
even
VI or
Lagos or
something.
Abuja, yes, or Port
Yeah,
Harcourt.
it changes. I do believe it changes for sure.
No,
It is the
you're correct
height
now.
of
Yeah.
what they know, and that's why they will hold on to that. But the more exposure they
No, but
get,
are you saying everybody is? Are you saying all relationships or all love are purely transactional, like on a material like basis?
Not
not
always.
all, but to a large extent, yes.
Right now, I'll say 90,
Not
96
all,
percent.
but to a large
I
extent, from what we were
disagree.
seeing before, it is very high, and
I
it's the
th-
honest
I
truth.
I think it's the other way around. I think there are a
Let me
handful
give
of
you a
purely
story.
materially transactional relationships that get all the attention and get all the coverage, and the rest of us who are just living mundane, boring lives with our partners that are regular people. That's the majority of people are just having special moments, falling in love, managing together in life, and then we're all talking about the handful that are that make it to our timeline. Um,
Yeah. Well, yeah, to those kind of people in the lower class, love is not a fairy tale. It's more of a fair wage tale. You have to have some amount of wages. But, anyways, what about intellectual compatibility? Does that play a role in relationships or not?
Yeah, of course. Like you
Yeah,
can't. I mean,
100%.
it's but both of them are related, right? Because so more often than not, the people who there's a large gap between the earning or wages of the husband and the wife, it's usually that somebody might just marry a trophy person that's there's nothing in the head, but like the body looks fantastic.
Or Yahoo
So
Yahoo
in that
boys?
case, maybe you don't need yeah, maybe you don't need anything intellectual. Or maybe the inverse, right? It's a very wealthy woman who married a mandingo guy because like he has like a 7 inch like or 8 inch like weapon. So sometimes like if the person you're with has something specific that you're looking for, you can forget about the intellectual part of it. But more often than not, there needs to be some level of
But
connection.
don't you think men have always married ladies that are not as intellectually sound as them?
Yeah,
Not
men are
now.
visual creatures now.
Yes, in the past. But I don't think that could fly right now. There is too much information out there for people to not be
Trust me, people,
intellectually.
men still do that right now. But maybe I should use, like you said, right?
I think men still because generally men are
Yeah,
visual creatures. Like we
visual.
like what we see. Like we're more. We also don't really need much in terms of like intellectual assimilation. That's like on an average. Like generally, whatever intellect that we're doing is in the workplace, is in other interactions. Like
So I
for a lot
listen
of
to
them,
some of these ladies online, and I'm like, do these people have brains at all? But like,
no, but some men like
guys are
that.
dying. Like they even come online and say, "Oh, like 500 guys are in my DMs." I'm like, for real? I
Yes,
just,
no. I
I know,
mean,
like I know she's not
some men
lying,
like
but like
that now.
I'm just saying, bro, you sound so dumb and
No,
stupid.
but
But like,
that's where the
you have like,
finance
That's to
that's where the
you, though.
finance
That's to
comes
you.
in.
Maybe they don't sound
No,
that
even
dumb to
even
them.
if they are dumb, no, even the people that are with them can
no,
think that
like
they're
they are visual. They're seeing something they like. That's what I'm saying. So it's not about the
yes,
brain.
that's it now. That's
They
where the
see
finance comes in. So
the breast
it's a
and the ass.
transaction. It's a transaction between somebody who says, I have something to offer you that you want, breast and ash, as Johnny Boy said, and you have something that I want, economic stability and financial protection. We don't need too much from each other. So I don't need you to give me any type of emotional fulfillment as a man. I don't need you to like hold my hand and give me like flowers and romance and anything. No,
Hmm.
just take care of me. And at the same time, you don't need me to be able to talk with you about the politics of the day or anything. You just need me to spread my legs or bend over or something like right. Like so, we're fulfilling our needs exactly the way we want it.
That is a very, very scary relationship, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
Just thinking about it, I
You're
can't
gonna
I
get
can't
tired of the
picture
truth.
myself in that.
No offense, you're gonna get tired of the
Yeah,
bullshit.
like, oh no, no. That is very scary. That's a horror movie right there.
So yeah, you mentioned something about people looking for financial independent people. Do you think like societal norms and social norms and family expectations shape how people accept like sugar daddies versus cougars? Because Johnny Boy mentioned something about girls saying things online and people are flooding their DMs. But if it was a cougar, I don't think they'll have that many people flooding. So do you think like societal expectations and norms shape how people view sugar daddies versus
That's
cougars?
I
What do you
think
think?
it's the same. They could go on there and they can still get 1,000, even more than what the younger one may have. So I think it's the same. To be honest, your preference. It depends on your preference.
I
No, but the
think
answer is yes now.
yes,
The answer
because I
is yes.
mean,
Sugar
you
daddies are
have
far
to.
more acceptable in society
Yeah,
than cougars.
exactly. You can't go around as a guy and say, "Oh, I'm a gigolo," and you think how many people are going to like? They're going to like what? But like a lady can go out and say, "Oh, I'm a sugar baby," and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
but when it
It's,
comes to Jackman now, it's okay to marry people that are older for is that not the same like cougar kind of
there are
thing?
many double
Yeah,
standards.
but you see, the guys are mostly. If you look at the guys, they mostly criticize the guys, but the ladies are like, "Oh,
There are many double
Yeah,
standards in this world. Like they
there are.
exist
yeah."
for different reasons. Some are better than others. Some are more valid than others. But
None
they're
is
double
better than
standards.
the other. To be honest,
None
it's
is better,
just
but
yeah.
the society
Okay,
accepts
not better.
sugar babies.
Some are more understandable, or some are
Yeah,
more. I think like
Again, no understandable. It's just whatever works for that person. To be honest, like you said, too many double standards. What makes you think your own standard is better than the other person?
no, but
That's that.
we're talking about like general cliche double standards. Like so,
what's
for
in the society
example,
right now?
it's acceptable for the one we just talked about now. It's generally more
Right.
acceptable to be a sugar baby than to be a gigolo.
Yeah,
Generally more
it
acceptable.
is
Why is it more acceptable? Because men are usually expected to be the ones doing the providing or
providing.
the
Yeah,
taking care of. So when that role is inverted, it's a surprise to people.
Yeah.
right? It's generally more acceptable for women to be more intimate with each other. So in girls' bathrooms or in girls' dormitory, you can hang around and all of them lying down on the same bed or rolling around together. But as
But then
guys, like it's
clear each
weirder,
other
like for
out.
guys to do that. Double standard, you know.
Yeah, unless you're
It is what
playing
it is.
wrestling. um,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
I'm fully aware that someone wants to leave very very soon, and others want to go, watch the Euros. So I'm just going to round up as usual with some would you rather questions. I'll just do two or three. Would you rather have
Let
financial
me let me let
stability?
me let me let me ask one. Let me
Go
ask
on,
one. Would you rather
go for it, please.
would you rather be a would you rather be
Surely.
a sugar daddy? Like in keeping with the topic, right? Would you rather
Mhm.
be
Yeah.
a sugar daddy or a gigolo?
Sugar
So
daddy.
would you rather be the one providing the, basically being tricked on, or the
Yes.
one doing the tricking?
Well, I think as a man, it's an easy choice for me. I'd
Um,
rather be the sugar daddy. Come on,
sugar
right? What
daddy.
we're
Yeah.
Sorry,
talking
I did
about.
not. Sorry, I never caught the question. I never caught the question.
So would you
Would you
rather
rather
be a
be a sugar
I'm
daddy
not
or
sure
a
what's going on.
gigolo?
Would you rather be sugar daddy or gigolo there?
Would you
That's
rather
fair.
be the one being tricked on, or would you rather be doing the tricking?
be the trickster?
Yeah, I would choose none, to be honest.
Now, but you
Yeah,
got to
you have to
choose
choose
one. You
one.
have to
You have
choose
to
one
choose
now.
one.
Well,
Would you
I've
rather?
chosen. You said choose, and I've chosen. I choose none.
There's no option
You got
C.
to choose
This
one.
guy is
There's no
There's
ducking.
no
He's,
option
he's
C.
ducking. He's scared.
ALB. There's no.
It's not. It's not being about scared. It's just when I think on both of that, I'm like the stress in both of that is just too much.
Oh, such a modest
So
guy.
Which has less
so
stress?
Chance less
If
stress.
one
And
is
which is
if
more
one stress is
acceptable?
10/10, one stress is 9/10, which is less? They are both very stressful, but one is marginally less stressful than the other.
probably a sugar daddy then.
The way he said it with low
I don't
voice.
know. Maybe I'm the only one of the opposite, but like if I mean, obviously I'm married now
I think as
faithfully
a
and
as
I
a
love my
gigolo, as
wife,
a guy, you
but
do too much
like
for
if I
themselves.
like if I when I was younger, 25 or something,
Mm,
and there could just be some nicer old lady, like some Halle Berry type, and if I could choose some older lady or something that would just want to flex on me, why not?
right.
Um,
For me, the
yeah.
question comes to me comes across to me as: would you rather be in control or be controlled? Sugar daddy, you're the one being
No,
Exactly.
controlling.
now you're
Cougar
overthinking. Answer
doing
the
the
question
control.
as is.
So
You're
I answered
overthinking.
as is. I only said sugar daddy, but I'd rather be in. I'm explaining my answer. I'd rather be in control than
You
being
rather be in
controlled.
control.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the way
So
I'm
that's why I
looking at
went for
it
that
too.
one. So
Yeah,
that's
nah,
basically let's do just two more. Would
that's
you rather then, unless you have another one?
no,
Okay.
it's all good.
Yeah. Would you rather have financial stability but compromise on emotional compatibility, or experience passionate love while facing economic challenges?
Uh, that's an
Me,
easy
I'll go with
answer.
passionate love.
Ooh, lovely,
Honestly,
lovely.
I mean, I would say that like I think you can whatever it is you can figure it
Love
out.
conquers all, eh?
Whatever. Yeah, like
Mm.
I think it's better to be because what's the point of having financial stability when you hate
And
your life
especially as a
when
man,
you're
yeah,
miserable,
yeah,
or something.
yeah.
So I'd rather be with somebody that I love and I'm happy with, and
yeah,
if
and
if
that
we are
encouragement
sharing.
you need as a man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if we cut the meat, if we cut one meat into two and we share it, no,
yeah,
right? And I like to think that like if I love you out of love and everything, I want to work hard to make sure that
yeah, and you're gonna encourage me. Yeah,
I can
exactly.
provide, and that's part of love to me. So yeah, no, I don't want to be like somebody just miserable.
You wouldn't make me go get your Birkin bag when you know I can't afford
And yeah,
it.
no, or with somebody that that I know that oh, I'm just miserable, like I'm not happy at all. Every day is just a fight or challenge, but oh, we have nice things. No, no.
Oh man, I love the peace. I will go with love.
That's what
Oh,
people don't understand. There's nothing as having peace of mind, man. Bro,
Peace of
oh my
mind
gosh.
takes you far. Yeah, I give me the peace.
okay. Speaking of peace, the final would you rather? Would you rather be in a relationship where one partner is the sole breadwinner, or in a relationship where both partners contribute equally to the household income?
Hmm.
How
How
about
much?
you
How much
just
is the
take a
soap partner
knife
making?
and
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I was
stab us
about
in
to
the
ask,
gut?
You're still
what
you're
kind
the
of
sole
society are you?
breadwinner.
What society
Whatever.
are
If
you,
it's
are you
2 billion or
living
two
in?
billion, whatever, you're the sole breadwinner. Or
Well, I
If
think I need to
yeah,
think deeper in this one.
go on.
If I would choose being a sole breadwinner if my partner has certain goals that I know she wants to achieve, and I want to support her,
Mhm.
then yes, I can, and I'm earning good money as well. And then yes, I will definitely be a sole breadwinner. You follow your goals, I will support you and stuff like that. But yeah, I will go with sole breadwinner because when I start thinking about the kids and stuff, yeah, no, I'm thinking too much. Sole breadwinner.
Yeah, I mean, if the bread is very plenty, why not?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
relax now. Don't do
So
anything.
yeah,
If
exactly.
you're
And
cool.
also if you have
But
a
but
good
if
partner
I'm managing bread,
yeah.
no, we both need to bake.
So yeah.
yeah,
Right. So
we gotta
I would
tip equally.
I would choose dual income. Even if I'm making 1 billion, the other person is making 1 billion as well. Because as Jay Z said, what's better than 1 billionaire? Two.
That one save
So
Dave.
I'm
But
saying,
don't you think there'll be clash of heads?
no. You don't have to clash. It's like this would be rather it's an ideal situation. Everything is perfect.
Okay,
So
I was
yeah.
about to say there's no way to be a billionaire and not be conceited in some type of
Exactly.
Yeah,
way.
Well,
Exactly.
Alexander, if you
Because
ask Alexander Wang and Vera Wang, I'm sure they're cool. But yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure, like all billionaires, they have some freaky shit
I
going
don't know
on.
who they are though.
well, as long as they're happy, hey man, in marriage, amen. Um,
they're happy, they're showing you what they want to show you, bro. You don't know.
We don't know the bloods you're drinking.
oh my
Exactly.
goodness,
So
we are going down there. All right. Well, that's all for
I don't know
today's.
who they are. I'm just saying.
All right then. Well, you can find out very soon. They are very
I
very
mean, you've
beautiful.
probably seen the Vera Wang bag or head of Vera
Yeah.
Wang
Yeah, I've
come
seen, I've
across
seen.
in the fashion. Yeah,
She does like all these wedding dresses as well too.
fashion. Yeah.
Oh, don't reduce her to
See,
wedding
well, for
dresses.
for us
Like
with
she's a proper fashionista. Like she's up
oh,
with
No,
like them
well,
Versace's and them Pradas and
I'll
them
see
peoples
smash
and
her though
all.
for she looks good for her age. I'll see smash
Oh,
just on the side.
Joni Boy. Wow.
yeah, that's why I love having
so
fun
you
with
would
his
rather be a
movies.
gigolo than
Yeah.
No, but I'm not collecting any payment now or anything now. So I'm
Just
just
even for
smashing for
free.
smashing sake.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So
Oh, okay. So, but if,
obviously
if
you,
even
you
you
will
guys that
get
said
paid
no,
for
even you guys
you
that
will
said
get
no, that kind of Vera Wang now that is a billionaire, like trillionaire.
Mm.
This thing. Uh, say, oh, come
Well,
on, Dr. Toves, come and take this private jet. You know, or here's this refinery in
mm,
in Nigeria for you. That kind is yani.
yeah. Yeah, I'll say I'll
well,
consider. Give me 5 working days to get back to you.
every
Right.
close up.
Yeah, yeah, I'll get back to you. But the answer is going to be yes. But I'll just get back to you either ways. Because I have to do some
I need to
convincing
learn
for
to
certain
arrange my
people.
affairs. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
Well,
cut any ties, deal with the blowback and everything for now, and then go live.
yeah.
Oh no,
Not even, let me go
come on.
and do some conflict management and change management. Let me go
Mm.
and unfreeze, refreeze, and freeze. Um, but yeah. So that's all
Oh
for
man,
today's session. Thank you to Johnny Boy.
you know
Thank
what?
you
I
to
have a would
Stan.
you rather situation. Well, no. One would you rather though.
Okay then.
Mm.
This would
Let's
you
do it then.
rather? Okay, would you rather be with a wife who complains, but you guys have a kid together, or be with your side chick, or just someone who you're not married with, but you have multiple kids and low income?
Why is there no
And
income
that,
in the
that the
first
other the
scenario?
other the other one gives you peace, lots of peace, happiness,
But
joy.
she's your
But
side chick, right?
No,
Like you said.
you're not married. Not let's not use side chicks. You're not married to this person.
Just
Let's
a
now for this
civil
context.
partner. Civil
Let's
partner.
let's put
In UK, it will be
let's
considered
I
civil
don't
partner if you're with someone for more
okay.
than
Yeah,
2 years.
But
yeah, they
now
call them
let me add a caveat to that. Considering your traditional background and where you're coming from.
Mm.
wait, so would you rather be with somebody who gives you peace, but you're not married to them,
No,
or be
would you
with
rather be
somebody
with a
who?
wife, stay with a wife because of your kids, but she
hmm
gives you nothing but heartache, and you may be making
Ah,
some money, or be with someone you're not married to, have multiple kids, who gives you peace and living a modest life, but you have to consider again where we're coming from.
your background. Yeah, I
Well, may
mean,
the
Yes.
peace of our Lord Jesus Christ be upon me. I'm choosing peace.
yeah. I mean,
Bro, trust me, even my mom always sounds that to me like peace of mind is number one. So I think I'll go with the other lady. not married. I'm a peace of mind. You might die early now. What's the point? If you don't have peace, that's death now, my
But
brother.
what
Come
if your
on.
kids actually want you to stay with your mom? It's no longer
Wait,
about your
like,
life.
but
Nah.
the second one you said has many kids. Like there are multiple kids in the second option.
Yeah. And it's from the same woman, right? The kids are from the same
I
lady.
want you to take into consideration for the second option your background,
Yeah, but is it,
culture, where you're
Whose
coming
kids are
from.
the
those?
kids are they from the same lady or different ladies? But that lady's just with me at that
No,
point
no,
in
no.
time.
It's the kids are. You have only one kid from that lady, but she has multiple kids from other men.
Ah,
Oh fuck! Nah, bro. Yo.
bro,
Yeah,
that's
nah.
that's different, dude.
I still
That's
choose
different
peace.
Eh,
now.
those
I
ones,
still choose peace.
nah.
No,
Okay, that's
no.
and
I
and
don't think
and
I
you
have peace in
you
that
I'll do
ignoring
scenario.
the
like
I don't
that.
culture.
think I have peace in that scenario. No,
None of the above, please.
nah.
None of the
Basically,
above.
you guys are basically saying you can't date single moms. That's what you are saying,
Bro, there
basically.
was a lady I was watching the video. She has
Yeah,
like
I think
seven
so.
kids from one man, and then she comes out complaining that she cannot find a husband. I'm like, how the hell are you going to find a husband with seven kids?
Bro, no.
Ladies are
Because see
Well,
the thing with the
still,
single mom thing is that like you're not only getting with them, you're
you're
getting with
getting
the
with the kids
kid,
too.
you're getting with the baby father.
Exactly,
You
bro.
can't
Too many.
predict. I
No,
just saw
bro.
a video on Twitter recently or on TikTok or so about some Black American. Some guy took his baby's son to get a haircut, only for the baby father to bust in the salon. Like, why? What are you doing with my son? Why are you taking my son to get? I thought I told you nobody else should do this but me, right? So as the man in the house now, the father says, "Oh, any type of father son moment, it has to be with me. So don't take my son to the salon. Don't take him to go and play baseball or anything. Don't
Yeah.
like that has to be with me. So you have to work
I think
around my schedule for doing that, or otherwise I'll make comments
there
for
are too
you."
many
Like, no,
disadvantages with dating a single
Well,
mother,
but
bro. It's not
because
worth
of
it.
Stanley's promise of
That's
peace,
why I say
I'm
no
beginning to
kids.
I'm assuming that all that is worked out. You know, like there's
oh,
already a
okay.
well,
proper
No,
work
that
let's
one
out.
let's
saved
even
it.
take let's
That's why
even
I
And
take
said
would you
in the
rather.
second scenario there's no
No, no,
peace
no,
because, bro.
no.
There's no
But there's
PC in that
nothing wrong
one.
with dating
Yeah,
someone with a kid, though. I think for you as a man, if you want to go date anyone with a kid, just investigate more, ask
Yeah, no.
questions before you run into
Some
that, because
CIA
I think
shit.
that's
Yeah,
where you're coming from, Sean, where things you see the dad outside and it's an issue and blah blah blah. So that's
yeah.
the only downside I ever see,
No,
because
but
you
even
cannot
if
compete with
the
the
person
father.
has multiple kids, if the person has multiple kids,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
are they all
Bro.
with the same father? Are they different fathers? If it's different
Mm-mm.
fathers, that's even another different problem.
What if she
Because
told you they are from the same father but they're
okay,
not?
if it's from the same person, which means you have like relationship close ties with another man that are probably because like if
What
having a
caused your
child with
breakup with
somebody
baby daddy?
is like
well,
what caused the
this kind
breakup?
of
How long were you
situation
guys
for me is
together?
easy. You just have to make an agreement. I'm not spending my money or my time on your children. If I'm not going to have any
It's not as easy
responsibility or
as you think, though.
authority,
Now, that's
how
not
it's
possible
no.
though.
No, no,
Because
no,
that
no.
is
You
one of the
cannot do
big
that.
things with dating single moms. Single moms want you to have all the privilege, all the authority with no privilege. You can't control the kids. You can't say anything. You can't deal with them. You can't train them.
All the
But expect you to
responsibility
take.
with no authority.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
no,
that's
you
what I'm
have
saying.
to
It's
work
hard.
that out. You know.
But it's the same for a single father, though, in a
Yeah,
way.
same. You have to work it out. Yeah.
This is another double. It's another double standard. I'm sorry. It
No,
is what it is.
I think it's the
It
same
is what it
thing,
is.
really. If you're coming to someone who
It's
already
the
has a
same.
kid with someone else, you have to work things out with the other parent, because unless the
Exactly.
parent is deceased, then that's
Yeah.
different.
No,
But if they are
but
alive, you have to
it's
work things
already
out.
different because if the it's in the case where like if the father is the one responsible for the child, that's the single fatherhood. Again, double standard. I accept the inconsistency
We have
completely.
to have a
Um,
podcast on this, Dr.
I know
Toves.
someone else that would like this. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah, I feel like
If it's a
we need
single father who is the
to go
one
on it.
who is actually in charge of the son, I think it tells a different story than if the father is not out of the picture and it's the mother who has primary responsibility.
You know,
So
why does it tell a different story?
in
Because
that case,
why?
I
Yeah.
think because it's usually the more responsible, the more involved parents that is the one who gets
But
final
what if the
custody or
mother
primary
died?
custody. Or okay, in that event, yes, sure. If the mother
I'm
dies,
liking all
yes,
the
sure.
sass that.
But
That's
I
my
think, I think in the case of a man, I think a man gets more points. While in the dating marketplace, I think a man will get more points on the
I
board
don't think
for
it's as
being
black
seen
and
as
white
like
as you're making it seem.
it's
Now,
not black and white, of course.
even if the mother is alive or whatever, what if the dad has power and able to say, okay, I want my kids, pay the judges off, and blah blah blah.
True.
these are all things that in the marketplace essentially accrue points to the man, because power is an attractive thing. Like as a man, it probably means you have wealth, you have access, you have the resources basically to make a thing like that happen. That makes you look more attractive. Whereas like and if in the inverse, if it's a woman who is the one with the child and everything, from the man's perspective, all he's seeing is a burden. Whereas if a woman is looking at a man with a kid, all you're seeing is resources and the ability to take care of and the ability to provide and the means to do it.
I could say the same for a
It
single
signals
mom,
different
though.
things.
I could say the same for a single mom. She's doing her best. She's taking care of the kids. I also
Stanley,
see a
yeah, yeah,
home.
yeah,
I
yeah,
also
you're
see a
very
home care.
rational.
It's the
Like,
same.
and it's
Nah,
good,
but
but
it's not
you're
realistic
coming
though.
at this from too much of a scientific or
You're not being
logical
realistic
position.
though.
You're not being
No,
like,
no.
What do you mean it's not
Well,
realistic? That's his
what
way.
is
That's his
what
realism.
is
Maybe
being
your realism
realistic?
is different, isn't it?
Exactly.
no.
So what is
If
being
to
realistic?
address realistic, you have to look at like the masses, the average, right? You're
Yeah.
the exception to the
No,
rule
you're the one
more
that's
often
telling me
than
not
not.
to generalize, and now you're
Eight,
going to the
eight,
masses.
eight out of 10 times.
Double
No,
standards, double
you
standard.
generalize
Double.
with the appropriate like caveats now, right? If you look at the situation around us, like look at the state of everything and the culture and the environment, use your church mind and judge. Okay, who is more desirable in society? A single father or a
Yeah.
single mother?
It, it,
These are bad
Societal
things, right?
wise,
And
you'll be
everybody,
right, but the question is still, but you still have the factors that you have to consider is still the same. Like, do you have authority over the
sure,
child or not? That
relatively, yeah,
that that
yeah, yeah,
conversation is still going to be the
right.
same. But more
Is your
desirable
partner a new
is
sound?
always going to be obviously the man standard. Right. So
No,
stay tuned
yeah.
for a future episode where we're having this conversation on single parenthood. But until then, I'll say thank you to everyone that is listening. Thank you to the contributors, Seun Tee, Stan, Joni Boy. Hope you enjoyed our conversation on economic conditions and relationships. And hopefully in the future, it's more about interest mates and not interest rate. Right? This has been Scatayat Podcast. As always, until the next episode, stay curious, stay safe, and use your brain, SCFR.